the shocking truth about why your manifestations fail. You've been affirming for weeks, visualizing every night, yet nothing changes. Frustration creeps in. Why isn't this working? Neville Goddard warned that most people misunderstand manifestation. It's not about repeating words like a robot. It's about belief, feeling, and subconscious reprogramming. If your desires aren't materializing, one of these three critical mistakes is blocking you. Let's uncover them, and more importantly, how to fix them for good. 1. You're affirming from lack, not faith. Neville taught that affirmations are powerless if spoken from desperation. Imagine Sarah, who chants, "I am wealthy," while panicking over bills. Her subconscious screams, "This is a lie," because she feels poor. Affirmations aren't magic spells. They're tools to convince yourself of a new truth. You stand before the mirror, lips moving in repetition. I am wealthy. I am loved. I am free. Yet the words feel hollow, a chant against the tide of your own disbelief. This, my friend, is the great deception of affirmations spoken from desperation. You think the power lies in the utterance, in the mechanical recitation of desire. But Neville Goddard revealed a starker truth. It is not the words that manifest, but the state from which they are spoken. When you affirm from lack, you are not convincing your subconscious mind. You are betraying it. The anxiety in your chest, the tension in your voice, the restless pacing of your thoughts. These are the true affirmations being impressed upon your deeper self. You may whisper, "I am abundant," but if your heart whispers back, "When? How? Prove it," then you are not affirming truth. You are pleading with a reality you do not yet believe in. Neville's fix? Assume the state first. Before affirming, close your eyes and feel the relief of having your desire. Let's say you want love. Instead of robotic, "I am loved," immerse in the emotional reality of being cherished. Feel the warmth. Hear your partner's laugh. Touch their hand in your mind. Then affirm. This bridges the gap between words and belief. Neville taught that all manifestation is the result of assumption, not effort. To affirm from desperation is to stand outside the promised land, begging for entry, rather than stepping boldly into it as though it were already yours. Consider the man who repeats, "I have a loving partner," while obsessively checking his phone for messages. His words are a mask. His true assumption is loneliness. Assume first, affirm second. Before speaking a single word, close your eyes and feel the reality you desire. Let the words arise naturally from that place of fulfillment, not hunger. Speak not to convince the universe, but to celebrate what you have already claimed within. For it is only when your affirmations become a confirmation rather than a petition that they take root in the world of flesh. You need not beg for what is already yours. 2. You're obsessed with the how. Michael dreams of a book deal but agonizes over how it'll happen. Should I self-publish? Query agents? Neville called this the sin of Noah's son. Looking back at the old reality, doubt, instead of trusting the new, certainty. Manifestation isn't a puzzle for your logical mind to solve. Your job is to live in the end. God, your subconscious, handles the delivery. Neville's student, Helen, imagined herself holding her published novel. She didn't stalk editors. She felt the book's weight in her hands. Months later, a publisher approached her. You sit and fret, twisting your hands over the how. How will it come? By what means? Through which door? This anxiety, this desperate need to orchestrate the steps, is the very thing that keeps your desire at arm's length. Neville Goddard taught with divine clarity. The how is not your affair. Your only task is to occupy the state of the wish fulfilled, to live in the feeling of its reality, and let the bridge of incidents unfold as it will. Think of the seed buried in dark earth. Does it strain to calculate the path of its sprout? Does it bargain with the sun or negotiate with the rain? No. It simply is, and the forces of nature conspire to bring it forth. You are that seed. Your assumption is the unshakable knowing that what you have claimed within must find its way into form. To interfere with the how is to distrust the infinite intelligence that has already answered. Recall the story of the woman who imagined herself in a loving marriage, yet grew impatient when no suitor appeared. In her doubt, she meddled, joining dating sites, forcing encounters, only to meet frustration. But when she finally surrendered the how, when she rested in the certainty of her assumption, her husband appeared not through her efforts, but through a chance meeting at a bookstore, as if scripted by unseen hands. The universe requires no instructions. When you assume the end, the means are born of that assumption. Your logical mind may protest. But what if it doesn't happen this way? And therein lies the trap. The moment you demand a specific path, you reject all others. Release the burden of the how. Walk in the knowing that what is done within must appear without. Your faith is the only bridge required.
3. You're secretly waiting for proof. Here's the trap. I'll believe it when I see it. But Neville, flip this. You'll see it when you believe it. Take fictional David, who tries manifesting a promotion but checks his email hourly for updates. His anxiety leaks. I don't have it yet. Neville warned, doubt is an assumption too. Instead, David should have acted as the promoted version of himself, dressing sharper, mentoring colleagues, even writing his new title on his coffee mug. Living from the end forces reality to catch up.
You have planted your desire in the fertile soil of imagination, yet now you pace before the empty field, demanding to see the sprout before you trust the harvest. This, my dear seeker, is where so many falter, waiting for the outer world to validate what you have already claimed within. Neville Goddard warned that to look for proof is to confess, I do not yet possess, and so you remain suspended between two worlds, the one you long for and the one you refuse to release. Consider the man who imagines financial abundance but checks his bank account hourly, as if God's promise could be measured in digits. Each anxious glance whispers to the subconscious, it is not done. Yet Scripture declares, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Notice the divine order. Belief precedes manifestation, not the other way around. You are not called to believe once the evidence appears. You are called to believe so that the evidence may appear. The woman who waits for a lover's call before she feels loved has misunderstood the law. She stands at the station, ticket in hand, begging the conductor to prove the train exists before she boards. But faith is boarding the train while the platform still appears empty. Your imagination is the only proof required. When you occupy the state of the wish fulfilled so completely that doubt starves in the absence of your attention, that is when the unseen becomes seen, when the imagined becomes undeniable. Stop waiting for the world to convince you. The power was never in the sign, but in the knowing. Walk as though it is done, and the universe has no choice but to echo your conviction. You have imagined your desire vividly, felt its reality in your bones, yet somewhere in the shadows lurks that whisper. What if it doesn't happen? This, my friend, is the poison that drains power from your prayers. Doubt is not mere hesitation. It is an assumption in disguise, a rival claim shouted at the gates of your subconscious. Neville Goddard laid bare this truth. A man can receive nothing unless it be given him from heaven. And heaven, your own I am, cannot give what you secretly deny. Consider the woman who visualizes a new home but then thinks, unless I save for years, this is impossible. Her doubt is not harmless. It is a decree. The universe, ever obedient, mirrors her conflicted state. She believes in lack, so lack remains. You cannot serve two masters. Either you assume the wish fulfilled, or you assume it is beyond you. And your world will prove you right either way. Doubt is the thief that steals your manifestation while you sleep. It is the man who plants a seed each morning, then digs it up each night to check for roots, wondering why the garden stays barren. Neville taught that persistence in the assumption is what hardens it into fact. But doubt breaks that persistence like a snapped thread. Your imagination is God, yes, but even God cannot build on shifting sand. The remedy? Starve your doubt by refusing to entertain it. When the old man of doubt knocks at your door, do not invite him in for tea. Turn instead to your assumption, your inner knowing, and live from there so completely that doubt withers from neglect. For when you stop questioning whether it will come, you finally become the person for whom it already has. The affirmation myth. Busted. Neville Goddard never said affirmations were wrong. He said they're useless without the right inner state. Your subconscious doesn't respond to words. It responds to felt truth. Stop treating manifestation like a grocery list you hand to the universe.
Become the person who already has it, and the world must reflect that. So tonight, don't just repeat empty phrases. Step into your desire's emotional reality. Feel its truth so deeply that doubt can't breathe. That's when the magic happens. Your imagination is God. Start creating. Thank you for watching. Want deeper training? Watch my Neville's Sats Masterclass next.